So let's play a game. Raise your hand. Yes, even if you're driving, raise one hand if you've ever said these words in the past week. I just need balance. Ever feel like life passed you by while you were being responsible? Like everyone else got a head start on success, on happiness or purpose, and now you're just trying not to fall asleep during your own life. Well, welcome to Too Late My Ass. This is the podcast for anyone who's ever thought it was too late. Too late to dream again, to build again, or begin again. So spoiler alert, it's not. I'm Faye Chappell, and I'm here to help you burn the rule book, rewrite the script, and become the main character in your next chapter. So whether you're 39, 49, 59, or 79, this isn't about getting your groove back. It's about finally giving yourself permission to freaking exist exactly as you are. So hit subscribe, tell that inner critic to take several seats, and let's make this your comeback era, because too late, my ass. Yes, I am the same. And you know what? Every time I say it, I want to slap myself with my own color-coded planner, a yellow one for my producer, Stacy. Because here's the thing. If balance worked, right? If balance worked, we'd all be Zen by now, right? We'd all have glowing skin, inbox zeros, right? Zeros, there's nothing coming in, thriving relationships, 8 hours of sleep. Who doesn't want 8 hours of sleep? And still somehow time to make those wholesome overnight oats that we see on Instagram. Have you fallen for that? I'm sure you have. But you know what? We don't. We're stressed. We're caffeinated. We are half resentful and perpetually 5 minutes late to our own damn lives. So today we're going to torch that myth of balance, right? Because I'm sure a lot of you think you can still do it. But instead, what I want to do is, like we do every week here, we're going to replace it. We're going to replace that with something that actually fits this real, messy, beautiful human life that we have. And I'm going to call it rhythm. Okay. So here's the lie of balance. So you've been sold the idea that balance, since is really important and you can have it. And that was really since you've been walking, right? Your kindergarten teacher, she told you to use your inside voice, right? And your first boss, they told you work-life balance really matters here at our company, right? And then they started emailing you at 11:47 every night. So the wellness industry, well, they've pre-packaged balance, right? Into candles and planners and cute pastel yoga mats, right? I personally like pink. So, or how about buy this $29 workbook and suddenly your trauma will align with your to-do list. It doesn't work, right? So let's call balance what it really is. It's more like, I would say, corporate gaslighting. That's a good phrase to use, because it's the illusion that you can do everything perfectly, calmly, and with great hair, of course, if you just try harder. But balance isn't empowerment. It's control disguised as self-help. Does that make sense? Balance isn't empowerment. It's control designed as self-help, right? So, a few years ago, I decided that I was going to nail it, right? I was going to have the perfect week, and I mapped it all out, kind of like a NASA launch, right? 5 a.m. workout, for those of you who are in my 5 a.m. club, 8 a.m. client calls. We were going to do family dinners at 6. I'm going to read before I go to bed, right? Yes. I'm going to eat kale. I'm going to smile often. And I'm going to post inspirational, but not too braggy things on LinkedIn. And so here's the thing. By Wednesday, I was a walking corpse. I wasn't balanced. I was broken. I had achieved the impossible, being equally mediocre at everything I did simultaneously. Have you guys ever felt that way? That's what balance really gets you. Not peace, but paralysis. Because when you're trying to hold everything perfectly still, nothing moves. Nothing. And is that really what we want when we talk about balance? So If you're listening right now, I want you to pause. I hope you're listening. I want you to pause, not metaphorically. I want you to literally pause this. And if you can, I want you to ask yourself something. What am I trying to balance that doesn't deserve space in my life anymore? What am I trying to balance that doesn't deserve space in my life anymore? Maybe it's a friend who only calls to vent, right? We all have those. And maybe it's a business that's truly sucking the life out of you. And maybe it's expectations that really expired 3 versions of you ago, because we all have those, right? Whatever it is, I really want you to say it out loud, okay? I want you to think about what it is. And then that's step number 1, right? So you want to name the imbalance so that you don't keep pretending that it's noble, right? So name the imbalance. What is it, right? And then I want you to really think about why we're chasing balance, even though we know it doesn't work, right? Because it's not because you're lazy or unorganized. It's because you were trained to confuse control with peace. Think about that. Control with peace. So why do we keep chasing it? Because somewhere between childhood sticker charts and corporate performance reviews, we learn that being balanced equals being good. Good parent, good employee, good friend, good human, right? Balance means moral currency. If you look put together, you're winning. If you look tired and messy and ambitious, you've been told you're off balance, right? What's wrong? You're off balance. So here's the punchline. Balance keeps you small. It convinces you that the goal of life is to look effortless while slowly dying inside. Can you relate to that? Because I know I can, right? So let me tell you about, I guess one time, I'm going to call it the spreadsheet of doom, for lack of a better phrase. Years ago, I really tried to fix my life with a spreadsheet, columns for health, relationships, finances, creativity, fun. And I gave each one a score of 1 to 10, and I planned to balance them weekly. By Friday, I was literally crying into cell E47, right? Because life doesn't fit in a grid. 1 week you're in love and you're broke, right? And you're fine. And another week you're thriving at work, but eating cereal for dinner. It's not imbalanced. That's just being alive. That's part of our lives. It changes from day to day, from week to week. So I want you to ask yourself, who benefits from you believing that you're never balanced enough? Who benefits? Well, I'll tell you who benefits. The companies that sell the planners, the apps, the miracle routines. They make billions of dollars a year convincing you that peace is a product, right? Balance isn't freedom. It's surveillance. If you're standing outside your own life, grading your performance instead of living it, and if every sentence hits your chest, good, because awareness is rebellion, right? So if you really think about it and you're aware, that's when you can start to rebel and understand it. So let's take a little exhale. You can drop the guilt right now. You're not supposed to juggle everything equally. You're supposed to move with rhythm. I want you to really cue that pivot, right? Move with rhythm. I told you that was our newfound tool instead of thinking about balance. Rhythm is life's original management system, right? Your body already gets it. Inhale, exhale, wake, sleep. Nature gets it. Tides and moons and seasons. So here's the too late my ass translation. Stop asking, how do I balance everything? And start asking, what rhythm am I in right now? And what needs to lead? What rhythm am I in right now? What does that mean? Let's go a little further. There's really kind of 3 rhythms that I look at. One is a seasonal rhythm. That's like the macro rhythm of where you are right now. So what season are you in right now? Are you building? Are you healing? Are you coasting? Are you reimagining? Okay. You can't plant, harvest, and rest in the same month, right? It doesn't work. So this is what you need to do. You want to give yourself permission to stop forcing spring during an emotional winter. Okay. So that's your macro rhythm. Then you move into your daily rhythm, which is more of your micro rhythm. And that's like, I'd like you to kind of think about picking 3 non-negotiables that anchor your day. So for me, it's move my body, write something that I might want to do or inspire, and actually taste my coffee before noon, which is one of the ones that makes it's exciting for me. But that's it. If those happen, I'm good, right? If I move my body, if I write something or do something for my business, and if I have my coffee before noon, everything else in the day is a bonus. And then there's one more. So there's macro and micro, and then there's that energy rhythm. And that's your internal rhythm, right? That's where I want you to track your natural waves. So what does that look like? What does that mean? So if you're, for example, a morning powerhouse, stop booking a deep work session at 9 p.m. It's not going to work. If you get your spark at night, then stop scheduling sunrise meditations. And because you're going to hate yourself, you're not going to do it. I need you to align your energy with your effort. That's what rhythm is all about. And when you get it, things change so much faster for the better. You know, there was a year that I tried to launch 3 projects while grieving, parenting, and pretending I was just fine. And I told myself, push through, stay balanced, push through. My body said, cool. We're going to do it. We'll just give you some incredible aura migraines to deal with then. And when I finally stopped, like really stopped and said, this is my fall season. Things die back so new ones can grow, essentially, right? Everything softened. And I started creating from truth instead of from tension. I didn't try to force myself anymore. That's what rhythm gives you. Gives you permission to move honestly, right? Permission to move honestly, and keep that in mind. So I want you to do a quick little exercise. So grab your phone. Here's my phone. Grab your phone or your notebook, and I want you to write down these 3 things. Number 1, what season are you in? Number 2 is, what are your 3 daily anchors that would make you feel that you're in rhythm, not balance, but in rhythm? And number 3 is, what is your biggest energy drain? So stop listening right now, grab your notebook, and I want you to do these things because it's really, really important. And if you can name those 3, you've already started that whole rhythm revolution, right? So I want you to do this little challenge for the next week or so, because so far we've burned the myth of balance and we've swapped it for rhythm. And now it's time to make it real. So let's do it step by step, so I make sure that you get it done. So you've grabbed your coffee, you've grabbed your notebook or your napkin from your last good idea that you wrote on. And we are going to do those 3 things that I asked you to do. So number 1, again, what was it? Name your season. Say it out loud. I am in X season. So maybe you're in build season. So if you're in a build season, you know, you're associating that with longer nights, caffeine, ambition. Maybe you're in a heal season, rest, reflection, grief, or maybe you're in a maintenance season where you're just holding steady. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, I want you to own it and stop apologizing. If you are in a healing season, that's okay. Just say, this is my healing season. I need to rest. I need to reflect. I need to be able to build through my grief. Whatever it is, I want you to own it. And again, do not apologize for it, because the fastest way to chaos is really pretending you're in spring when you're actually in winter. So that was the number 1, right? What was number 2? It was to choose those 3 anchors. 3 daily things that keep you human. So mine again was move my body, even if it's just to walk to the end of my driveway, right? It's, you know, you're pretending it's cardio. It's not. I'm just asking you to move your body. Number 2, I want you to write something. That was me. Write something, because for me, expression is kind of like oxygen. Ideas, I love ideas. So every time I have an idea, I put it down, because that is what makes me feel really psyched about doing something else. And number 3 is, you know, I like to have my coffee before I answer anyone's emails. And that's not selfish. It's something that really anchors my day. So if I can do those 3 things first thing in the morning, that makes a massive difference to how my day will go, right? And that's my floor, right? That's not my ceiling. That's my floor. That anchors is where it starts, right? And your anchors could be different. They might be you sleep, you stretch, you laugh, you pray, you paint. If it keeps you connected to yourself, it counts. So make sure you think about what are those 3 things that you can do on a daily basis. And it doesn't have to be morning, daily basis that you know when you've done those 3, you feel better. Okay. And then number 3 was to identify really the noise, right? So here's the brutal honesty section. I want you to write down the stuff that really hijacks your rhythm, right? Is it the endless scrolling? Are you seeing yourself in that one? Or is it the energy sucking coworker or family friend, right? Or is it that group chat that feels like it's a hostage situation that you have to keep answering and you really don't want to? So the next time you see any of these, I want you to write down beside it, because if you're writing them down, I want you to say you're either going to keep it or you're going to cut it, right? And your calendar is your boundary. So if you want to keep it, cool, write it into your calendar, but maybe you realize that you don't need it and you can go ahead and cut it. And I want you to really think of your week like essentially a playlist. Monday, maybe your focus track. Wednesday is your catch up and breathe. Friday is your play day. Stacy, my producer, and I have tried as much as we can this summer to have Friday as our play day. So we try to do all our stuff the rest of the week so we can do whatever we want on Friday. And it doesn't mean we can go somewhere, we can do nothing, we can do anything we want. We can watch bad TV, it doesn't matter. So assign that energy, right, to all of these things, not to the guilt, right? So if your song was really loud, right, and it was crazy and it was noisy, you lose that melody, that subtle melody. And that's what we're trying to get you to do. We're trying to get you to understand that you can have a rhythm and you don't need to worry about balance. I had a client, and she was literally drowning in everything that we're talking about. She was a CEO. She had 2 kids. She had a side hustle, and she had full blown burnout. And she kept saying to me, I just want balance. And I said, no, you want rhythm. So we built her week around her natural energy. Mornings was her deep work. Afternoons was her collaboration. And evenings were really nothing. It was to enjoy her family and to rest. And 3 weeks later, she said, I feel like I'm breathing again. That's rhythm. It's not perfect. You just feel alive. So I want you to ask yourself, what does my current life sound like? Does it sound like a song, a beautiful melodic song, or does it sound like static? Because if it's static, you just got way too many instruments playing at once. And I think we're all guilty of that at some point in our lives. So I want you to really protect that pulse, right? People will test your rhythm. They'll call you during your silence. They'll email you during your rest periods. Your job is to keep the beat anyway, right? Because once you start syncing to someone else's tempo, you really lose your own. You can't live in alignment if you keep dancing the way everyone else wants you to do. It's their playlist. It's not yours. So again, your challenge for the next 7 days until you hear me again is I want you to actually do this, right? No, don't just nod. Don't be doing emails or writing something while you're listening. I want you to stop and again, write those 3 down. Pick the 3 daily anchors. Cancel one thing that throws off your rhythm, right? And track your energy and how it feels at the end of the day when you're starting to do this, because you're building evidence that rhythm will work better for you than trying to find balance ever did, right? It is remarkably different. So here's, I want you to try this for a minute. I want you to close your eyes, unless you're driving, of course. Imagine your week as a song. So at first, it's chaotic. Too many sounds, too loud. Think about that song. Now, slowly, each instrument finds its place, right? So you're starting to find the songs that make you feel good. You feel that beat steady in your chest. Think about it when you're driving and you pick a song and when it's noisy and loud and you have to make a turn, you don't know how to make a turn or you can't find the address because you have to turn the music down, right? How many of us do that? So what I want you to do is find your rhythm. Find the song that feels like that's your life and it finally feels like you, right? And I don't literally mean a song. I mean, I want you to feel that way because you don't own the world balance, right? You owe yourself honesty. So if someone tells you to find balance, just smile and say, no, thanks. I'm busy finding rhythm because balance is static. Rhythm moves. Balance demands perfection. Rhythm forgives you for being a human being. And you'll have days that you fall apart, right? And that's kind of like that tempo variation, right? It's not failure. It's just, things happen in life. But as long as you keep listening for your own beat, for the way you feel good, you're going to find your way back. So what's our takeaway today? Well, the takeaway is you're not out of sync. You're just really dancing to the wrong soundtrack, right? You're dancing to how other people expect you to dance, right? And start small, one rhythm, 1 week, one honest no. Then let life get loud again. But this time it's loud on your terms because perfect balance is truly, it's boring. And rhythm is cool. Rhythm is rebellion. I love the word rebellion. So rhythm is rebellion. Too late, my ass. You've been listening to Too Late, My Ass, and this is the show where reinvention has really no expiration date. So subscribe, share it with your favorite burnout, and remember, balance is canceled. Rhythm is in session. Thanks for listening to Too Late My Ass. If this episode made you feel seen or heard or a little more ready to take your damn life back, then go ahead and hit that follow button. If you want to go deeper, grab your free comeback kit at toolatemyass.com and join the Act 2 Insiders list for weekly tools, community, and reminders that your story is far from over. Remember, you're not done. You're just getting started. Too Late My Ass, produced by the City Media Group.